Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. One day, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni came to Kenya, and Jeff Koinange, then working for K24, posed a very delicate question to him. They were just about to undergo a presidential election. Kizza Besigye was still the official opposition leader. And Jeff asked him, what would happen if you wake up after election and you find out that the Uganda Electoral Commission has announced Kizza Besigye as the president of Uganda? Yoweri Museveni gave a very funny answer. He said that would be witchcrafting. That's how he said it. He simply meant that would be witchcrafting. In fact, he was simply saying that it was impossible. Not very difficult, but very much impossible. Yes, he meant that it was impossible. Like many African leaders who have been in power, they simply believe that no one can, go against their wish. If there is another witchcraft or witchcraft that has really shocked William Samoei Ruto, Wafula Chebukati, and Madame Koome, is the presidential election in Senegal, where the man who was supposed to become the president was barred from contesting. I'm talking about Sonko. And Sonko, in a televised video, just recommended Bassirou Diomaye Faye, the man who was sworn in recently as the president of Senegal. And he was released. He was under detention. I think it was just about 12 days to election. And he went ahead and won that election. Now, that is not even the point. I think what Koome, Chebukati, and Ruto cannot fathom is just how all the bodies that manage election decided to announce Faye. Because the candidate that was being supported by the outgoing president was a former prime minister, a 62-year-old man, and he conceded defeat. That is one of the shocking news that I think wherever William Ruto sits, he cannot imagine if that can happen in Africa, and I think even Museveni. But if there is another eighth wonder of the world that will be recorded in the African states, it's just what happened in Pakistan. Something very funny happened in Pakistan. A man or a politician who had been given victory rejected that victory, saying that votes were rigged in my favor and therefore I don't want this victory. It sounds like a miracle, or it's just unbelievable. But this man, realizing that the country was rocked by a lot of violence, he decided, mimi tumeiba kura na iliibiwa kuni favor na mimi sitaki. I want us to read very quickly so that we can discuss this. A senior Pakistan official admits election rigging as protests grip the country. That the confession of Punjab commissioner exacerbates tension over legitimacy of February general election results. And I want us to read very fast that a senior official in Pakistan has admitted to election rigging amid protests breaking out across the country over claims that its general election results were unfair. The confession statement throws further questions over the legitimacy of the 8th February elections, which were marred by controversies and allegations of rigging in Pakistan. Commissioner Rawalpindi Ligat Ali Chatter told protesters that authorities in Rawalpindi, Punjab province, changed the results of independent candidates, referring to candidates backed by the former Prime Minister Imran Khan's party, who were leading with a margin of more than 70,000 votes. And then Chatter said there was so much pressure on him that he contemplated suicide, but that he then decided to make a public confession. And this is what he said: I take responsibility for the wrong in Rawalpindi. I should be punished for my crimes, and other people involved in this crime should be punished. That is the man in whose favor victory was given. He also accused the Chief Electoral Commissioner and the Chief Justice of Pakistan for their roles in the rigging. Chatter was arrested by police after the statement. So he was accusing the Chebukati of that country and Madame Comey of that country, if we were to match them. But now, in their usual manner, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Pakistani, Qazi Faiz Issa, has denied the allegations. I just want to finish by saying the claims have put pressure on the Electoral Commission and Pakistan's powerful military, which has been accused by many political parties of rigging the elections to favor the former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif's Pakistan's Muslim League and Bilawal Bhutto Zardawi's Pakistan's People's Party. Now, I want to see what the Chebukati of that side said. However, the Election Commission has denied the allegations of rigging leveled by Chatter. The interim Chief Minister, Punjab Mohsin Naqvi, has taken notice of the Commissioner's allegations and ordered an impartial probe into the allegations of manipulation of the election results. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to end it there. I want you to take, for example, that in our scenario, the Kenyan scenario, election takes place and rigging has taken place, let's say, for example, in Nairobi. And then Sakaja says, no, Chebukati aliniibia. Na mimi venye naona watu wameanza kupigana, mimi sitaki na mimi nakubali hata kama ni kuadhibiwa nitaadhibiwa, niende hata jela, na wale wote ambao walishirikiana kufanya haya mambo, sisi sote tuende jela. That is exactly what happened. And the reason I'm saying that this has baffled and people like, the President William Ruto, Wafula Chebukati, the former commissioner, and Madam Chief Justice Comey cannot, just understand. And that's why when I was reading the body that election commissioner has said there's nothing like that. Have you ever got some news that you think it's too good to be true? If it was in our country, do you think such a thing can happen? Because this election was pitting a former Pakistani prime minister who is in jail, and most of his candidates were leading. But then there are allegations that they were shortchanged because the one who is in power, the one who is being favored, is in control of the electoral commission, and they are together in this with the Chief Justice. Their system is just like ours. Do you think that can happen in Kenya? And the reason why this, I felt I was touched by this is the manner in which Kenya and indeed most of the African states are conducting their elections. Number one, you will realize that our elections have been captured by the Western powers. Then they capture the Electoral Commission, and if they understand very well that after the Electoral Commission has declared their president, then the disgruntled party would go to the Supreme Court or any level of the court, then they will ensure that they capture that court again, because those who work there are human beings, and they will ensure that they block every avenue of justice. And if there's something that we can learn, is that there are people who still have integrity. It is unthinkable that someone can be haunted. This guy says he felt like committing suicide because of the manner in which people reacted, the manner in which people took this, and he decided, instead of taking my life, let me come out and speak the truth. If it was in our scenario, Cherera is outside the country, and the other commissioner, because they were running for their dear lives, that when you try that and you want to implicate people who have connived to rig elections, you will either die or will run for your life. To date, we are still, if there is one commission of inquiry that William Ruto hurriedly formed, was the commission of inquiry into the conduct of Cherera and the other 4 commissioners. We are being told that we want to form a commission of inquiry into the conduct of Uhuru and the depth of deep state. We want to form a commission of inquiry into the allegations of, someone who wanted to kill Chebukati. They cannot. If there is one commission of inquiry that was hurriedly, established, was that to ensure that they kick out people like Cherera. This man, I'm told, he was arrested, but he has spilled the beans. I understand that he might be sacrificed because once you've come out and said that we rigged the election, but the electoral commission there says no, hatujui kitu kama hiyo. The chief justice says no, hatujui kitu kama hiyo. So you remain because our wote ni serikali, they are deep state. Watakuacha kwa mata. They will tell you, sema vile uliiba, ni wewe peke yako uliiba. But then this was very shocking. And I think when other leaders, African leaders, sit down, they feel like, how do people play around with victory? I remember Rigathi Gachagua was telling the people of Rift Valley, the Bomet to be very precise, ya kwamba mnacheza na uongozi. Hii kitu tulipigania, hamkumbuki venye William Ruto alitezwa. They still, they feel like winning an election in Kenya. Once you have grip of that power, it's a miracle. Can you imagine if William Ruto would wake up and say, mimi niliibiwa kura na mimi nimeacha, Raila kuja, chukua uongozi wako? What would happen? Kenya will be thrown into a frenzy and no one would believe it. If the Bomas talks, just the talk, when people were talking, it was Chebukati said mimi sikuji kwa sababu tulimaliza nini? Uchaguzi, because he knows he will be put to task to answer a few questions. And I think they were just told, well, usiende hapo. Usiende. The development in Pakistani are very interesting, but we want to see how it's gonna end because it will give others the courage to come out and speak the truth and say, hii kitu ilibiwa. And the country is rocked by violence. People are complaining that election was shambolic, just like it has been all over. And it makes me understand that power is very sweet. No one wants to, abandon power once you get it. But this man is our hero. He stood up and he says, mimi lazima niseme hata kama naenda jela. You can imagine that kind of spirit. How I wish that we would have that kind of spirit in Africa, in Kenya, so that we have the best elections. Otherwise, we are still craving to know what is in the server that many fear to be opened. In fact, some people have gone to court. Some clergy are saying there is no need of opening it because it will be tantamount to opening some wounds. Would you rather open wounds so that we can know the truth because the truth shall set us free, or we cover the wound because we don't want to be free? Share with me in the comment section.